Hi, this is Joe from Gabby's Decks. I came here for an estimate to look at a job. We constantly inspect decks, but I want to explain to you two very important things on the deck. This deck is about, I would say, 20 years old, or maybe a little less, between 15 to 20. Now, there's always discussions, people talk about staining versus painting, what's better. If you do not get the right paint, I'm going to show you in a minute what's going to happen with your deck. It's exactly what happened to this deck. Just because the paint, what happens is on the piece of wood, if you cover with paint, then you're completely sealing the top and you're not letting air go right through. Okay? If you put two pieces of wood together, okay, on the decking board where you walk on the deck, if there's no space in between, there's no proper ventilation, and the wood starts to rot way faster. Now, staining on the other side is it absorbs into the wood and it doesn't build up this layer, this veneer that goes right over the wood. And so that's why I always say staining is always better than a heavy coat of paint. Now, that's one. The second thing is this deck, I'm going to explain what it is about the post. You see here, these columns are 6 by 6. They're still in very good condition. Even though it's about 15 years old, it's still very good. But they didn't install the post brackets. Okay, this is called a post base, which are supposed to be mounted from the wood to the concrete. Okay, that's one. You have to have it by code. The second thing is, this is something they did very good, is they left the concrete coming up about 6 inches. Okay, so this is when you have water coming from all over, it doesn't go on top of the wood, it doesn't sit here, because you have about 6 inches, so the water doesn't come up, or termites or anything. So this is the reason why the concrete footing is supposed to be up a few inches. Okay, now I'm going to show you something on the deck where we just discussed about the staining versus painting. Now this is going to happen to your deck if you paint it with such a coating of paint and you can see from here, from this wood to this wood, there's no air, there's no ventilation, and this is the paint. So this is what happens, it dries out, and this is the wood, this is the results. Now look at this one, you can see you have the space on this one and it's perfectly fine, they're still in good condition. Okay, now I'm going to show you on top of the deck the same thing, which is on the step. You see how you have the step? Is look, I can put my hands right through. This is what happens, right through. Because they put this coating of paint on it. Now look at this. This is completely sealing it. All the water seeps between, right in between. You see how it's wet on the inside and it's nice and dry on the outside? Because it sits on the inside and it eats up the wood. Look at this. Everything comes off, the whole thing. And this is purely the results of the paint, okay? Because look what happens. It's a layer, and he didn't leave any gap in between. Okay, so now the same thing on top of the deck. Same thing. It looks very nice, but when you look at it, look at the stain. Look at this. It comes right over. It peels off. And this happens. You can put your finger right through. Okay? Same thing here. All of this. Okay? So just make sure whenever you guys stain the deck, make sure you stain it and make sure you leave a little bit of air.